Da-da-da. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is for my Montgomery College GED math class, and last time we were together we were working on adding fractions with unlike denominators. So a worksheet that looks like this. In class we practice worksheet A, and so that's still posted, but that was like for classwork. You can finish those, but for those who have finished that and want additional practice, I've posted this one, and I'll go through some examples for you to get you back on track with it and to refresh your memory of how we were doing it in class. Okay, so here's our first problem right here. I have 14 over 15 plus 3 over 5. And remember, like what I like to do is I like to set them up vertically first instead of horizontally. And this is, remember, there's more than one method of doing this, but this is a method that works well for me. And so this is the way I tend to teach it, in class. So I'm going to first rewrite the problem vertically like this, right? And remember, my job is to find a common denominator. In other words, I'm going to convert these fractions so that they have the same bottom number. And remember, the first thing that you got to ask yourself is, look at the big number, the biggest number. I had a 15 and a 5. Will the small number fit into the big number evenly? If your answer is yes, then you can just use the big number as your common denominator. Will 5 fit into 15 evenly? 5 will fit into 15 evenly. How do I know? I can simply look at my multiplication chart, and if I look under the 5s, I can see that a 15 is there. And how many times would it go in? 3 times. So again, here, so again, if you're like me, you're not that great with your multiplication facts, always use a multiplication chart to help you with just about anything when it comes to math until you start memorizing those facts. So again, question number 1, set up vertically, and then ask yourself, will the small number fit into the big number evenly? Okay? And in this case, it does. So that means you can just use the larger number out of the 2 as your common bottom number, like this. Okay? And then remember what I like to do is a method I call divide and multiply, which means this. Take the 2 bottom numbers, divide it in. 15 will go into 15. How many times? 1. Take that answer and multiply it with the numerator. So I have 14 times 1. That answer is 14. Notice this fraction didn't change. And that's fine. That should happen if you're using the bigger number out of the 2. Okay? Do the same process with the bottom fractions as well. Divide and multiply. So divide, and then you're going to multiply that answer. So 5 will go into 15. How many times? 3. Take that 3, multiply with the numerator that's already here. 3 times 3, 9. And what happens is, my friends, is you now have converted these unlike fractions into like fractions, which means they have the same value. It's just now that they have the same bottom number as well. Remember, this was an addition problem, so all we have to do is add the numerators. So 14 plus 9, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 plus 9, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I have a 23, I think, over 15. And we can't keep it this way. What's wrong with this fraction? You're absolutely correct. If you had said it's top heavy, it's improper, so we need to change it. So we're going to change it by doing our division. Okay? Remember, kick that fraction over to the side. Kick that fraction this way, it'll fall over, like, or looking that way, falling over, meaning that it would kind of look like this, wouldn't it? If you kicked it over to its side, okay? Which means now you're in a perfect position in order to start dividing. 15 goes into 23. How many times? Remember, if you're not sure, use a multiplication chart. Go to row 15, and you're looking for 23. Notice how 30 is the next number up, so you know that it's only going to go in how many times? 1. You take your 1, put it right here. Remember, I like to do a place value holder. 1 times 15 is 15, and we subtract. 23 minus 15. I'll use the count up method. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That gives me 8 left over. Okay? So now we have the 3 pieces that we need in order to make our mixed number. Remember, the number on top, your whole number, is your whole number of your mixed number. The remainder is your numerator. And number on the outside of the house is your denominator. So this is our complete answer. That is a mixed number, no longer an improper fraction. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Get this out of the way here. Okay. Close enough. All right, so I'm going to go straight across. I'm going to go over to number 5. You see where the number 5 is right here? So I'm going to do that. Remember, the first thing I like to do is set them up vertically. So I have 7 over 17 and 2 over 3. Okay? And again, I'll try to see if the bigger number will work. So I can say, will 3 fit into 17 evenly? If you're not sure, go down, look at your chart. Look at 3. Do you see a 17 in this row? You do not. So the answer is no. 3 will not fit into 17 evenly. So you can't use 17 as the most common, least common denominator. What you could do, though, is multiply the two numbers, 17 times 3. That will give you a least common denominator. So if it doesn't work out evenly, multiply the two bottom numbers. Start there. So 17 times 3, which you can see is 51. So I'll use my 51. That's supposed to be 5. 51. There you go. All right. And then we're going to use the same method of divide and multiply. So 17 goes into 51. How many times? 5. Go back down to your chart. 17 goes into 51. How many times is that again? 3. Okay. So take that 3, put it up here, because now you can multiply. 7 times 3, 21. Same process down here. Divide, multiply. 3 goes into 51 how many times? Don't remember? 3 goes into 51, 17 times. And do the 17 times 2. 17 times 2, 34. There. Now we have equivalent like fractions, okay? So equivalent means that this fraction does equal this fraction. This fraction does equal this fraction, okay? So now we can simply add our numerators. By the way, I hope you're noticing that. These were the reverse of each other. So remember, we had the 17 and 3, and we multiplied them, right? So that means 17 will go into 51 3 times, or 3 will go into 51 17 times. 3 and 17. So remember that trick, and it makes doing the multiplication and knowing the common factors a lot easier. So let's go ahead and finish up and add the top numbers. 5, let's see, 21 plus 34 will give us 5 here and 5 here. So 55, bottom number is 51. I hope you can see that clearly. But as you notice, it's top heavy, isn't it? So it's improper. So again, you have to divide. Now this one, I'm not going to do the whole division thing because it's pretty close, isn't it? You know how many times 51 is going to fit into 55. 1 left over, with 1 time. With how many left over? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. You should have 4 left over. So you should have 4 and keep the same bottom number over 51. Changing your answer to a mixed number of 1 and 4 over 51. All right. Let's see what we got next. Okay, I'm going to go straight across to number 9 over here. Let's see. So remember, I like to set it up vertically. I'm going to set up vertically right here. 1/3 plus 3/7. That's 40. Oh, yeah. And remember, you're going to convert to like fractions here. You can ask yourself, will 3 fit into 7 evenly? Your answer is no. And then, so what you could do is just multiply the two bottom numbers, 7 times 3. And that'll give us 21. Remember, our next step is to divide and multiply. 3 goes into 21 7 times, right? Take that 7, multiply with the top number. 1 times 7 is 7. And then divide and multiply here. 7 goes into 21 3 times, right? And 3 times 3, that should be time. Yeah. 3 times 3. Give us 9, all right? And make sure I did it right. 3 goes into 21 7 times. 1 times 7 is 7. Good. And then 7 goes into 21. 3 times 3 times 3 is 9. And now we will add our numbers together. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 over 21. There we go. We're back. So this is pretty good because we also know that this is a proper fraction, so there's no reason to kick it over and divide because it's already in a form that's acceptable. And I know that 16 over 21 will not reduce, so 16 over 21 will be my final answer for that. All right. So let's see. We'll do one more. Why not, right? Okay. So, but here's one. I can tell you this, right? So 13 and a 14. You can tell already. Look, 4 is not going to go into 13 evenly, so they can multiply these two and get that common bottom number. But this one, 9 and 3, that one will work. Let's do that one real quick, and then I'll leave the rest up to you guys. So I have 1 and 3 and 2 over 9. Remember, ask yourself first, will the small number fit into the large number? 3 does fit in 9 evenly, so that means I can use the larger number as my common denominator, right? And then, let's see what happens. You're going to divide, then multiply. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 1 times 3 is 3. 9 goes, and then divide, multiply down here too. 9 goes into 9 1 time. 2 times 1, 2. Now you have common fractions, and then we add 3, 4, 5 over 9. And you know that's not going to reduce any further, so you can just leave it at that. All right, my friends, I'm going to call it a day on this one, and we'll go over these two on Saturday, and I'll see you then. Bye.